Rumor has it that the conflict between Claressa Shields and Remy Ma turned insane because Claressa arrived at Papoose and Remy's residence prepared to throw hands. It's disorganized, disorderly, and, to be honest, it's the kind of tea we didn't realize we needed. If it were true that someone had contaminated Claressa's beverages with illegal chemicals before her battle with Danielle Perkins, someone may have disqualified her from boxing or possibly banned her from it. Claressa was urged to calm down by Papoose, who stepped in and reminded her that it wasn't worth losing her boxing license for this mess. And let's be honest, trust me, Claressa wasn't happy about it, but she backed off because it was probably what Remy wanted in the first place. Don't worry if you haven't kept up with all of this turmoil. I've got you covered. Rumors circulated a while ago that Remy and Papoose were no longer together. But when Papoose posted a Father's Day picture of themselves with their daughter, it was, surprise, surprise, no. When Remy was seen, the streets started talking. It turns out that Easy the Block Captain, an underground combat rapper, was allegedly going out with Remy. Easy and Papoose were friends, which is where things get awkward. Not only was Remy's life comfortable, but there were also rumors that CIS was seeing another rapper. Images of them cuddling up with matching watches started to go viral online, but Papoose kept things elegant by not airing any personal information on the internet. He decided to silently move on, and guess what? Claressa Shields is his current girlfriend. She sent Papoose screenshots of Claressa while he was still staying at her place, which infuriated Remy. She even made derogatory remarks, claiming that when Claressa heard Remy's voice, she hung up the phone. She looked at Remy and said, "Girl, you cheated first. Why are you mad?" The double standards were real. Remy wasn't done though, and accused Claressa of making up stories to damage her reputation, saying that Claressa's crew was out there trying to discredit her. Queen Fashion's Claressa responded on Twitter in a classic clapback, accusing Remy of being ungrateful and, "It was messy, petty, and all that." In addition, insiders say Remy was enraged by the Claressa dancing video. Claressa invited her to her next bout in Flint, Michigan, and even made jokes while beating Remy. Remy was ready to throw hands if Claressa wasn't a champion boxer. Everything was being consumed by the internet, and just when it seemed that things were slowing down, Remy stoked the fires by threatening to expose the tension between Claressa and Papoose at her next WAP fighting tournament. You can really feel the intensity of Remy Ma and Claressa Shields' drama through your television. This isn't your normal feud, it's a complete mess. This conflict between these hands is definitely worthy of a reality show, and it doesn't appear to be going away anytime soon. Friends, get your popcorn. New level. Everybody who knows Remy knows that she has never hesitated to use her hands to deal with problems. As demonstrated by her threat against Toya Johnson on Love and Hip Hop, she has a reputation for never giving up. Yes, this respect is taken seriously by CIS, but now that Claressa Shields is involved, Remy isn't simply dealing with people. Things are changing. Let's face it, if Remy attempted to throw hands with Claressa, we all know how that fight would turn out. Claressa is a world champion boxer, but the streets claim that Remy escalated the situation to a more sinister level. Perhaps bribed someone to put illicit drugs in Claressa's drink to ruin her career. If she had tested positive for drugs, she might have been suspended, disqualified, or perhaps stripped of her titles. Talk about dubious methods. Claressa was ready to pull up at Remy's house to make amends after learning about this, but Papoose stopped her in her tracks by telling her that placing hands on Remy's potential to lose her everything, including her boxing license, titles, and the career she has worked so hard to establish, was a topic of much discussion among fans. Although many people had a valid point when they stated, "Girl, you're a boxer. We know you can fight. So why risk your license?" The drama didn't stop there. Remy, who is no stranger to controversy, heightened the ire by accusing Claressa of untrue things and now claims that she is disseminating false material to damage her name. Claressa answered. There were rumors that Remy had hired someone to tamper with Claressa's drink, which some fans think is not only rude, but maybe against the law. he challenged Remy to a boxing match, which resulted in a showdown. There are wild speculations that some individuals believe Remy would go that far. After all, this is a full-fledged drama with social media ablaze and everyone picking sides. It's not just about Claressa and Papoose. If you believe that would be the end of it, 50 Cent had to step in due to. At this point, his remarks have people talking, regardless of whether he is sincerely concerned about Remy or is only inciting controversy for amusement. With each new development, the feud has evolved from a private dispute to a full-fledged public soap opera. As expected, he threw himself into the drama, throwing shade and further complicated an already chaotic circumstance. One thing is certain, this drama isn't going to finish anytime soon, even though Turn keeps us riveted to our screens. Let's be honest. Remy Ma has never backed down from a verbal or physical altercation. Her purported background, which some see as proof of her hardest character, is still being discussed, including the time she supposedly shot a friend over a money disagreement. In the midst of all this drama, people can't help but wonder, and Nail's demeanor is a harsh reminder of how risky it can be to let feelings rule your actions. What is Papoose's real situation? His relationship with Claressa Shields may be more nuanced than it initially seems, according to some people. Are they overanalyzing the scenario, or may he be attempting to remind Remy of her flaws, or perhaps change the power dynamics in their relationship? If the reports are true, Papoose would be breaking his carefully created image of a loving husband and father to his wife and his blended family, which is how he has always presented himself. Then, Remy is being provoked by Claressa Shields, who challenges him to a boxing battle. Is she genuinely trying to settle their disagreements in the ring, or is she just making a point? Although boxing comes naturally to Claressa, she has faced criticism for having an unfair advantage when she competes against a non-professional fighter. Although some of her critics disagree, she justified her decision by saying that it would be a polite and fair method to resolve their issues. Believe it's less about finding a solution and more about making a statement or possibly even a publicity stunt to take advantage of the attention this disagreement has brought about. Furthermore, some individuals question why everything is so explosive at the moment and hypothesize that there might have been. Without a question, social media has made this drama into a full-fledged circus. Fans are taking sides, transforming comment sections into battlefields with their cryptic messages, dubious captions, and subtle attacks. Poor Papoose is stuck while some stand with Remy, saying she is being unfairly dragged, and others admire Claressa for refusing to back down. Whatever the cause, it is obvious that a private falling out that became public knowledge is more serious than a small miscommunication. With layers of drama developing and the internet swallowing it, the scenario feels like an unstoppable reality show. It's unclear where this will finish, but as the drama progresses, it's important to take a step back and look at the wider picture. What does this entire situation imply about the current media landscape and the culture of public feuds? The distinction between what is private and what is public has all but disappeared, and personal disputes are often transformed into spectacles for clicks and views. It's not only disorganized for the parties, it provides a supper model for how disagreements ought to be settled in general. Something like this might undo all of the hard work Remy Ma has put into rebuilding her life and reputation following her incarceration. However, Claressa Shields fears that she may appear to be overly aggressive or even opportunistic, which would damage her sports career and cast doubt on Papoose as the loyal family man. Not only is this a trivial dispute, but it also serves as a reminder of how challenging interpersonal relationships can be, especially. The internet is thriving on ongoing conjecture and meme arguments and isn't likely to let down anytime soon. This feud is turning into a warning story, regardless of whether it is a valid grievance or just a case of miscommunications amplified by social media. We can only watch it happen in the hopes that cooler heads would prevail for the time being. Things got much messier when 50 Cent decided to get involved. Remy may have endangered Claressa by putting a hit out on her, according to a bizarre theory. He gave Claressa uninvited advice, advising her to never argue with her. As usual, she would bring up the block classic 50s during the pod, but Claressa wasn't really paying attention because she was already suggesting that she and Remy box. "Come get your whoop," she even tweeted, referring to the internet. Claressa spilled some tea in an interview with Jemele Hill. While some think she is going too far, others think she is essentially fighting fire with fire. Not to mention that Remy may have been the first to spark this enmity by acting shaddily. Remy was accused of harassing Claressa by disclosing her personal number, but Claressa wasn't going to accept it. In response, she said that she would fight for $1 with Remy. Remy has a history of throwing hands, and we're not just talking about rap battles. Most people think Claressa has this figured out, but don't write her off just yet. Remy served 8 years in prison for shooting her friend Makita Barnes-Joseph in 2008 over a missing $3,000. According to the narrative, Remy discovered the money was gone from her purse when they were out enjoying themselves in Manhattan. She accused Makita right away of keeping her cool and trying to resolve the situation. Words flew, blows were thrown, and then a gun went off as things swiftly escalated out of control. Makita spent weeks in the hospital after the bullet hit her colon and rectum. Remy, her 8 years in prison was a wake-up call. Perhaps 50 Cent is right to caution Claressa because the judge in her case wasn't holding back when he described Remy's extremely furious disposition. This feud serves as a warning that tempers can flare up and that there are genuine repercussions, in addition to being a story that makes headlines. We'll have to wait and see where this goes for the time being. One thing is certain though, the internet is buzzing with excitement as wild saga goes on. Remy Ma has a well-known habit of letting her anger run wild. She tried to convince the judge that she wasn't who people thought she was during her 2008 shooting trial. Declared, "Remy Ma is not even close to who I really am. I'm not a thug, I'm not a threat or a menace to society, and I still have a lot to offer." Prosecutor Michael McIntosh, however, didn't buy it and painted a totally different picture, emphasizing Remy's history of carrying a loaded weapon and portraying that argument as a disaster waiting to happen. Remy's fate was sealed when she was sentenced. What's wonderful is that, in spite of everything, she didn't appear to regret it at all. The story turned into a cautionary tale. If you thought Remy had calmed down since then, guess again in 2019. She even brought it up in her rapping, saying, "I shot my friend over a band, and imagine what I'll do till I can't stand." She allegedly threw a punch at her Love and Hip Hop New York co-star Brittany Taylor during a benefit show at Irving Plaza, injuriously striking Brittany's eye. Brittany quickly demonstrated that she still had the same fire by going straight after Remy. Soon after Remy was charged with 4 minor counts of assault and harassment by May, she shared a picture of her black eye on Instagram and called the police. When the matter proceeded to trial, she was able to turn herself in, and the assistant district attorney revealed that Brittany's main eyewitness had stopped collaborating, and another witness stated that at the time of the purported occurrence, they saw Remy in an entirely different place. Remy was relieved to be released from prison despite the absence of hard evidence, but remember that her name is still on the record. The conflict between 50 and Papoose stems from 2018, when 50 blatantly said, "Damn, Remy, you lost mad weight. Hey, Slim," under one of Remy's pictures. This is in the thick of the turmoil, especially with reference to 50 Cent. Papoose wasn't willing to ignore it, so he gave a forceful clap back, finally escalating the dispute. Whether it happens in the ring or on social media, fans are anxiously anticipating the next turn in this developing drama. 50 Cent, the catalyst, will be present to witness the entire spark's ascent. The inclusion of 50 Cent in the Remy and Papoose controversy made matters worse since this tale is far from over. When Papoose said, "Damn, Remy, you lost mad weight. Hey, Slim," beneath one of Remy's pictures, it all started. Unimpressed, Papoose brought up 50's baby mama Daphne Joy in retaliation. Being older, he naturally set 50 off, even going so far as to declare, "Damn, Daphne Joy, no wedding yet. If 50 doesn't marry you, I'll introduce you to my homeboy." After that, he posted a picture of Remy in underwear along with the caption, Remy is blocked till she gets. Her husband went one step further and posted a meme of a balding Papoose with the remark, "Okay, but she lost weight and she's good. What do you want me to do about that?" I informed him that she had lost weight and that Pap had begun tripping. In fact, he made a joke about saying, "Next thing, we're not watching Power." Fat Joe, who is Remy's, was the focus of Papoose's retaliatory tweet, which featured some bizarre images of 50 and even the hashtag #GetTheStrap. It was filthy and nasty, but we all know that 50 lies on this kind of drama. On Math Hoff is My Expert Opinion podcast, mentor and godfather to her child with Papoose chose to remain silent, admitting that 2024 has been a tough year for hip-hop because of all the headline-grabbing scandals, but he is loyal to Remy and respects Papoose, so it's hard for him. He also expressed concern about the possible consequences of this public mess. Joe even claimed to be ignorant about the drama that was about to happen the day before Remy's startling Instagram diatribe while she went out to dinner with him, pretending everything was okay. And many speculated that Papoose was at the I wasn't with them at Brooklyn Chop House, but I enjoyed it because I often spend thousands there. So he quickly fixed the record by writing "Peace to my brother Fat Joe." However, things took a turn for the worse when Remy exposed even more dirty laundry after Papoose disclosed. Remy criticized Papoose for filming her during arguments, and she retaliated with receipts of her alleged infidelity, claiming that she spent last Christmas with their daughter, accusing Papa of having a gambling problem and trying to force her into a speedy divorce by saying he wouldn't leave unless there was a public outcry. She explained that she didn't want to involve her family or friends like Fat Joe because they also cared about Papoose, and the block captain dropped his own bombshell, making fun of her by saying things like, "You're a snitch, you're a rat," and Remy Ma called the police for help. Ease claims that the narrative wasn't as dramatic as some were making it out to be, and if Ease telling the truth, it looks like Remy left first, which refutes allegations that he ended up in a fetal position while affirming his affair with Remy and claiming Papoose knew about it the entire time. Could not sit well with her followers. Claressa Shields might want to follow 50's advice before taking on Remy. What do you think Remy is up to now that it's clear that she's not someone to mess with? Who will come out of this with their head held high? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below, and don't forget to watch more of our videos for the latest updates on this topic. Are you doing everything possible to beat Claressa, or is this all just talk? Crazy story.